No, there are no good movies. I did watch Loki with my son yesterday. Y'all seen Loki?
No. What is it out on? Like what platform?
It's the Marvel Comics. It's a whole lot better than Beavis and Butthead Captain America / the Winter Soldier. That was about the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen. Anybody see that?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, I didn't think it was too bad. I
I
thought
didn't
the
like it.
action. I thought the action and the action parts in it were pretty decent.
I've got a thing about the Avengers. I just think there are people that are Avengers, and then there's people that just have weapons. And I may be crazy, but the bow and arrow guy and the girl with the 9mm and the guy with the wings, to me, they're not true Avengers. They're just people with weapons. It's hard for me to get into those three. I don't like those three. Does anybody agree with me? They're not true Avengers.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
just my
they're not
opinion.
part of the, I guess, original Avengers, like
Well, bullet
Captain
between the eyes
America
and they're
or
dead.
Iron Man, or yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
bullet between the eyes and they're dead. You can't shoot Thor, and you can't shoot, you can't shoot the Hulk.
Well, that's how I felt about like the Superman versus Batman movie. Like he would have just obliterated that dude. Like in the.
Oh yeah, there wouldn't have been. Batman would have lost. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least I got some of y'all to talk. All right. So anyway, what we're gonna do today? I got it written down right here. So far, we have done. Get my green pen out. So far, we have done. Well, we've done that. We've done that. We've got this done. That. Today, we're going to go over trig. We're going to go over logs. Okay. Now, the reason I do this first and then do the trig and the logs is because you got to use the chain rule with the trig and the logs. And now that you've learned the chain rule, it'll be easier for you to do the trig and the logs. Okay. Now, I can tell you right now that about half the homework for trig and half the homework for the log is a lot of limits. Those are not the test questions, okay? The test questions I'm going to give you with trig and logs are the ones I'm going to go over today, okay? So I don't need you stressing over some of the homework problems when they're not that big a deal, okay? Especially with the limit. Let me check to see how many we got in class. Hold on a second. We got 18, and we don't have 18 videos on, so I'm going to wait for them to turn their videos on so we can get everybody in class. Please. Turn your videos on, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 5 people who don't have their videos on. Turn them on, please. There we go. Come on, you can do it. We're waiting. There we go. Come on, you can do it. And y'all won't talk to me, so at least I get to see you. So I'm waiting on how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 3 more, please. I understand, Mr. Dosher, but we got to remember this is a virtual classroom. You got your phone. You can use your phone also. Your phone has a camera on it. Okay? like I said, I can't get y'all to talk to me, so I can at least make you turn your videos on. We're still waiting on 3 or 4 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thank you. I know that was very, very treacherous. I know it was, you know, you have to turn on the video button. Dogs are not allowed in this class, please. All right.
Dogs, look at her. Look at her, though. Look at her.
Oh,
You
God.
can't take her out. You can't.
Why do people that have dogs, why do they have to show off their dogs? You don't see cat people doing that. Cat people don't do that, mainly because the cat don't want anybody to see, okay?
Yeah.
I don't like dogs.
You don't like.
I don't go around kicking them, but I just don't like them. You know.
Look at you,
And I
problem.
don't like your dog either, Miss Seiler. So
Okay.
I just never have liked dogs.
It's
Period.
okay.
Okay, Miss Seiler, you have a pretty dog. Okay, there you go. Now get it out of here.
Okay.
All right. So let's do a simple problem. F of x is equal to the sine of x. Now, I don't know how many people in here invented trigonometry. I don't know how many people in here invented calculus. But I do know that some of y'all suck at both. So I'm going to teach you like you suck at it. All right? So therefore you can build from the bottom up. So first thing you want to do when you do a sine or a logarithm is to go to the problem and draw a set of parentheses and make sure it has a coefficient. Because when you do, and I'm just going to put this on there because I already did it in the last class. When you do a logarithm or a trig problem, write that down. You got to memorize the trig derivatives, which I've already given you, and you're going to have to use the chain rule. That's with logarithms as well as derivatives. Now, I've given you the logarithms and derivatives. Where are they? Well, I sent them to you. They're right here. Did everybody get that file? Did I send it? I did send it.
Yes, sir, you did.
Yes or no? I added these.
Yes.
I added 2 of these. These should. Okay. This is logarithms and exponents. This is the same thing. These two, just pick which one you like. I kind of like that one, but I like this one because it's in order: sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. That's why I like that one. It's in order. So you got to memorize this, and you got to memorize this. So that's number 1. Memorize. And then you got to remember, either you're going to use the product rule, the power rule, but most of the time you're going to be using the chain rule with the trig and the natural logs, and exponents. Okay? All right. So there is my function, and this is just with a regular trigonometric function. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to be f prime of x. The derivative of the sine is the what? Cosine. So I'm going to rewrite it. And I'm going to put cosine of x. And then I'm going to take the derivative of what's inside the parentheses. Now in this case, it's just a 1. But is it always going to be 1? Hell to the no. And that's what'll get you on a test. So this answer is 1 cosine of x or cosine of x. And that 1 goes in the front. Now if I give you f of x is equal to the cosine of 4x. Then you go f prime of x is equal to, well, the derivative of the cosine is the negative sine. So you put negative sine of 4x, and you draw your parentheses right here. What's the derivative of 4x? 4. Sorry.
4.
And now you bring that 4 out here with that negative, and the answer to this one is f prime of x is equal to negative 4 sine of 4x. And this is what y'all suck at. This right here. Y'all don't get these wrong. Y'all get these wrong because you forget to use the chain rule. So use the chain rule all the time by putting a 1 right here, and you won't screw these up whenever you get to them. See? So just learn the chain rule. Learn the chain rule with your trig, and you won't never go wrong. You won't ever go wrong. Can't have two negatives there. Where did all my videos go? We had 2 or 3 people drop out. What is up with that? Y'all just, why do y'all hate being on video? I mean, you don't talk. So what's the problem being on video? I just don't understand.
They might have just gotten booted out. I just got booted out a second ago and had to rejoin.
Well, no, I actually kicked you out because I don't like you. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I know that.
Oh, man, I'm glad Mr. Michelle has a sense of humor. Some people don't have that. All right, let's do another. Weaned on a pickle, people. They don't have a sense of humor. Sine of 2x plus 6 cosine of 3x. All right, try that one. I want y'all to do that one. I'm going to give you 5. Oops, I went ahead and put parentheses. Oh, wow. I shouldn't have done that, should I? Wow. I should have left them alone so you could screw it up. Give you a minute. And those 2 we just did, those are test questions, and these are test questions. Anything I do today is test questions because I want you to see that some of the homework problems you got are kind of, you know, all the limits and all that, plug and chug and factor and take out. They're not going to be on the test. Mr. Mulder, that must be vodka or moonshine. Which one is it?
It's just water.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Everclear. All right.
Hubert, why would he tell you what he's got? You'll probably ask for some.
I know. They ain't going to tell me what it really is. Mr. Sequoia, he's throwing back those Budweisers. All right. So what is the derivative? Let's see. Y prime is equal to 5. Derivative of sine is the cosine of 2x. Take my handy dandy 2 plus 6 negative sine of 3x and now you clean it up. Y prime is equal to 10 cosine 2x plus a negative 6 sine of 3x. 3 times, let's see, 3 times 6 is what? 18? Okay, we'll do it back here. Times 3. And that's going to be y prime is equal to 10 cosine of 2x minus 3 times 6 is 18 sine of 3x. Now, you know what? Some of y'all that might have had calculus before in another lifetime, another world, last semester, okay? Some of you may be going, wow, that's not that difficult. Why was it so hard last semester? Because I made you do the chain rule before I made you do the trig. And now you're going, oh, you just use the chain rule, and that's where that 3 is coming from, and that 2 is coming from. And now it's making more sense to you. I hope it is. Maybe somebody can say, maybe it's making a little bit more sense to you. If you had calculus before, I hope, maybe. And nobody's going to say, I'll just have water and a lime, please. All relationships, we don't need communication. Whether you're dating, whether you're married, whether you have a class, you don't need communication. Never use communication. Y is equal to e to the negative x sine of 4x. All right, your turn. I'm going to let y'all do it. Mr. Mulder, where do you work? Looks like a nice office. You must communicate. I did that on purpose. I saw him take a big bite of whatever he's eating. I did that on purpose.
I work at an architecture firm.
Oh, good. Do y'all have to communicate with each other?
Yes, sir.
Just cut it off in math class, right? Just not communicate in math class. Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'll take it personally. All right, got to use the product rule here. Can we use the quotient rule? Yes or no?
No.
Yes, we can. We're going to do both. So you do whatever you want to use. Mr. Knight, are you being chauffeured? I believe he's being chauffeured.
Yes.
Must be nice. All right, do it. You can do the quotient rule or the product rule. I'm going to do both for you, but you can just do whatever you want to do, or you can do both. You know, asking you to do both, that would be called extra work. I don't know, that'd be hard to do for some of y'all, but extra. All right, so you can do the product rule or you can do the quotient rule. Y prime, we'll do the product rule. I'm just going to set it up. First, times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. And if you set it up as a quotient rule, y is equal to the sine of 4x over what? E to the x. Y prime is equal to denominator times numerator prime minus the numerator times the denominator prime over denominator squared. So there's the quotient rule, and there's the product rule. All right, I'm going to give you another minute to finish it. Okay, my Dogecoin is starting to piss me off. And I won't even talk about my Shiba Inu, because Shiba Inu, it ain't doing squat. And now my dadgum AMC's falling. All I need to do is buy stock, and the bottom will fall out of it. So I need to figure out how to manipulate that with my bad luck. So maybe what I'll do is I'll start investing, get somebody to invest in a stock. Let's see, how should I do that? I got to figure out a way to use my bad luck. And nothing from nobody. Thanks a lot. Thought I could get some advice from y'all.
You could just short it.
I can't do that. I'm sorry. That's too confusing for me. Is that not confusing to you?
It was until I read an article about it. And
I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch Shorting for Dummies, because I can't. You if you get it to go down, then you make money, but you got to pay back what you bought.
So after I read an article, I don't see how it's not illegal, to be honest.
To me, it seems illegal.
So it'd be like if you have 10 shares for $25, I'll say, hey, let me borrow those.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a percentage for however long I have them. And I'm banking on them dropping down to $20. So when I borrow them for you, I automatically sell them for $25. And then when it drops to $20, I buy your 10 shares back for $20 a share. I return them to you, and I keep the profits from that.
To me, that's illegal.
It should be. How can you sell something you don't own?
Exactly, and it also affects the price of the market. It's them damn Russians is what it is.
You can't sell a house you don't own. You can't sell a car you don't own. So
Do you know you can actually, there is a way that you can steal somebody's house? There is a way you can do that.
What, like, get buddy with them, get them drunk?
Well, either squatters' rights or fake identity or identity theft. You can actually steal somebody's house while they're living in it.
That's messed up.
Maybe we should all just go over to the Ukraine and China and just, get a job that we're not qualified for and make kickbacks off of Ukrainian and China OIL. Maybe that's what we should do. What do y'all think? All right. The sad thing is 3/4 of y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. That's the sad thing. Y prime is equal to e to the negative x. Sine. The derivative of the sine is the what? Cosine of 4x times 4 plus sine of 4x times e to the negative x times -1. Because what is the derivative of negative x? -1. What is the derivative of 4x? 4. That's what gets y'all on these problems. Chain rule. So that's going to give me y prime is equal to 4 e to the negative x cosine of 4x minus e to the negative x sine of 4x. We could factor out an e to the negative x. Now that's 4 cosine of 4x minus sine of 4x. That's a test question. And all you got to do, put you a big old dot right there, and that'll tell you right there, product rule. See how that chain rule feels better? Now that you've learned that chain rule, this feels a whole lot better. All right, you try the quotient rule if you haven't yet. I've set it up for you. I want you to do it. And if you can't do it, we'll just chalk that up as being a failure. Give you a minute. It's 2:37 right now. Like I said, all I got to say is Shiba Inu. If Shiba Inu ever goes to $1, y'all won't see me in class. I'm gone.
You can just
I'll be
give all
down
those
there.
A.
I'll be down there where they have those little huts out in the ocean and the water's real clear. Yep, that's where I'll be.
What is it at right now?
Like 7/10,000ths of a penny.
Nice.
How do you think I bought 28 million shares? All it needs to do is go to $1 and I'm done. So y'all go out and buy Shiba Inu stock or currency. They say it's going to follow Dogecoin. I hope. I guess I need to talk about recipes or I don't know what. I'm giving up. Maybe if I talk about cartoons or I tried to talk about Marvel Comics and y'all just shot that down. I guess we'll talk about Miss Seiler's dog. What's the name of your dog, Miss Seiler?
Her name's Reese.
Reese, like in Reese Cup or?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's my favorite candy. So
really?
It
Okay.
didn't go bad there.
Okay. Good.
What kind of dog?
She's a golden doodle. We literally just got her on Saturday.
Well, it's a pretty dog.
Thank you.
I would want it, but it's a pretty dog.
Thank you.
Hubert, deep down inside, you definitely want a dog.
No, I do not. I
Yes,
wish
you
I
do.
could get rid of this one my son's got.
Why would
Hold
you want to
on
get rid of a
a second.
dog? Hubert, think about it. What if you train the dog to be a hunting dog?
That's a lot of work.
I'm sorry, my son was leaving. I had to slap him upside the head. All right.
Hubert, what if you got a dog and trained it to be a hunting dog?
No, I don't care about it. I don't need no hunting dog. I can sit up in a deer stand. I shoot a deer with a bow and arrow. I know how to hunt.
Do you go duck hunting?
No, I don't want dark meat. Nope.
Oh, I got you.
No, I'm not a bird hunter. Never have. I tried a couple of times. I'm not. And I barely go deer hunting. The only time I go deer hunting is when my freezer gets a little bit low. That's the only time I go deer hunting. I'm not a caveman deer hunter. I don't hunt deer to put them on the side of my house or my wall. I don't do that.
Yeah, like look at my deer.
Yeah.
He is a 12-point buck.
It's just like the sunglasses inside and the smokestacks on the truck. Run, women, run in the other direction.
I have to disagree with that one.
Huh?
I can agree with the smokestacks on the truck and the
Smokestacks on the truck.
but
especially those squatted trucks, run.
But hunting.
And wear sunglasses. If you see a guy wearing sunglasses inside, that's future domestic abuse, women. Get away from that person quick.
But hunting for sport, for like trophy, I don't think that goes in the same category.
Yeah. But Predator, he does that. Predator, he pretty much does it for sport. That's one of my favorite movie franchises, The Predator. I love that movie.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
All right, I got 3 or 4 people. We all got that off of a golden retriever. So, see, that's called communication, people.
It's a golden doodle,
fun,
actually,
isn't it?
Hubert.
It's kind of fun to converse and talk, you know?
Hubert, she's a golden doodle, actually. Come on.
I'm not. She looked like a freaking golden retriever to me. I'm not going to split frog hairs, okay? Good gosh. See, that's why I don't like dogs. God. My son's gone now. I can talk about dogs now. All right. E to the x. And that right there is going to turn into that right there. We're going to take the derivative of the sine is the cosine. It's going to be 4 cosine of 4x minus, and that's going to be sine of 4x e to the x times 1, because that derivative of x is 1, and all that over e to the x times e to the x. Now I'm writing it like that because I'm going to cancel one of those out, because I'm going to factor it out right here. So I'm going to factor out an e to the x in the top. Y prime is equal e to the x. That's going to leave 4 cosine of 4x minus sine of 4x all over e to the x times e to the x. And that's going to cancel. And that's going to leave the same thing we got right here. Wait a minute, that's not. Here it is. Bring that e to the x up. That would be e to the negative x, 4 cosine 4x minus sine 4x. Now, why did I do it 2 different ways? If you can do one of these problems by the quotient rule and the product rule fluently, then you're good for the test. Now, if it takes you 25, 30 minutes to do one way, you're not fluent, okay? But if you can do the product rule with this problem, and you can do the quotient rule with this problem, with a trig and an exponent, then you're good to go for the test. All right, let's try another test question, try to discourage you a little bit. Find y double prime. That's supposed to be double prime. Or, since that don't look like it, f double prime of x. There, that looks better. Find y double prime or f double prime of x. F of x is equal to e to the negative x sine of 3x. Now remember, you're not finding just prime, you got to find double prime. So you might have to do a couple of takes on this one. You're going to have to work a little bit on this one. I'll go ahead and set up the first part for you. And you could do the quotient rule right here. You could do it by quotient rule or product rule. I'm going to do it by quotient rule. F of x is equal to sine of 3x over e to the x. So f prime of x is equal to denominator times numerator prime minus the numerator times the denominator prime over denominator squared. And a lot of you say, well, this is just like the last problem. No, it's not, because not only do you have to find y prime, but now you got to find y double prime. So it's not exactly like the last problem. All right, I set it up for you, so you should be able to take off now. Find y prime and then find y double prime. F prime of x is equal to e to the x times derivative of sine is cosine of 3x. And then what is the derivative of 3x? 3 minus the sine of 3x, and the derivative of e to the x is e to the x, and the derivative of x is 1. And everybody says, well, why is he doing that? Well, you got to get in the habit of doing the chain rule with trig and natural logs and exponents. All over e to the x, e to the x, and again, you're going to factor out an e to the x. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that e to the x here, here, and here. I'm skipping a step. And that's going to leave me with 3 cosine 3x. So f prime of x is equal to 3 cosine of 3x minus 3x, minus sine of 3x over e to the x. Now we got f prime of x. Now we got to do f double prime. So I'll do that on the next page. Now, a lot of you say, well, Hubert, is this a test question? No. But why am I showing it to you? Well, I'm giving you a evaluation. If you can do this problem fluently to the second, that's another indicator that you're good to go for the test. If you're on like the second line right here and don't know what's going on, then you haven't done the power rule, the product rule, the quotient rule, and the chain rule homework. And if you have, you need to send more questions because you're not fluent. So I'm going to take this to the next page. F prime of x is equal to 3 cosine 3x minus sine of 3x over e to the x. So f double prime is equal to the denominator times the numerator prime minus the numerator times denominator prime over the denominator squared. And I'm just going to expand it so I can cancel that e to the x out again. So f double prime of x is equal to e to the x well, cosine of 3x, the derivative of the cosine is the negative sine. So that's going to be 3 times the negative sine of 3x. And then the derivative of 3x is 3 minus the cosine of 3x times 3. And that's all of that right there. Minus three cosine of 3x minus sine of 3x times e to the x times 1 all over e to the x and e to the x. E to the x, and I'm still going to work with this. That's going to be negative 9 sine 3 to the x, negative 9 sine 3x minus 3 cosine of 3x. And then I'm going to put a negative. That e to the x is going to come out front. I'm thinking out loud. That would be minus e to the x times 3 cosine of 3x minus sine of 3x. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel e to the x, e to the x. Let's go ahead and cancel those e to the x's. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. I believe we're going to be able to factor out something. No, we're going to be able to cancel something. Because we got 1 times all this, the parentheses fall off. Distribute that negative right here, those parentheses will fall off. And let's see what we're going to end up with. I'm going to rewrite this. F double prime of x is equal to -9 sine of 3x minus 3 cosine of 3x. Distribute that negative, -3 cosine of 3x plus sine of 3x all over e to the x. What is -9 sine of 3x plus 1 sine of 3x? -8 sine of 3x. Y'all check me. And then 3 darn, I was hoping those would cancel out. Minus, well, what do we get on the last one? I got to make sure. 3 cosine, I think we got, we got something wrong. Let's see, did we do the same problem? Hold on a second. E to the -x sine of 3x. No, this ain't the same problem. I thought we did. Okay, I'm sorry. -8, that we're doing double prime. -8, and then -6 cosine of 3x over e to the x. What'd y'all get?
That's what I got.
That's what I got. I just did the product rule.
Okay. So I think I heard 2 people. I heard one person say they got that, and I heard somebody whisper to me that they got that. So to whisper and a confirmation, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's just my mic's bad. It might have sounded like a whisper.
Oh, okay. I could barely hear you. Thank you, Mr. Benson. All right. Let's do a nerd. I want to get y'all to the natural log. Now you got to use your natural log key that I gave you. This is a fairly simple problem. If you use your page that I gave you, f of x is equal to 4x cubed times, I put that dot right there to tell you what to use, natural log of x. All right, go to it. Now you're going to have to use your key that I gave you right here. You're going to have to use that one right there. I'll set it up. F prime of x is equal to first times the derivative of the second plus the second
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel
times the derivative of the first. All right, knock yourself out. I'll give you another minute. And there's several different ways you can write this answer. So try to write it at least 2 different ways when you get it down to the answer. Speaking of animals, I got to take my cat to the doctor. No, my mama's cat to the doctor after this class. When you have a farm, people throw out animals. Y'all don't know that, but they do. So we've become a, what do you call it? Rescue. We're a rescue farm. We rescue animals.
Yeah, in my neighborhood, I think somebody might have released their parakeet because we caught one the other day, and now we're trying to find the owner.
Oh my gosh, that's bad. I guarantee you there's a cat or two would like to have that.
Yeah, we already have
Cats,
somebody.
like parakeets.
We already have somebody who's gonna take it if we can't find the owner.
Well, we get a lot of cats, and we got about 5 cats in our barn. And then we like that because they kill the rats and the mice. And of course, they like the food that we put out there on the hay bales. They like that too. So, and then my mama's got 2 cats in her house, and I've got 4 rescues. All these cats we rescued on the farm. Dogs, I tie a cement block to them and throw them in the pond. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. We don't get many dogs. My mama's a dog lover. She's the one that loves the dogs. My son, he loves them.
Gmail.
My son and my daughter, both of them have a dog. Ugh. Can't handle it. F prime of x is equal to 4x to the third. Somebody tell me what the derivative of the natural log of x is.
1 over x.
Good job. Times 1. That's the derivative of that. Plus natural log of x. Oops, that's supposed to be orange. I'm sorry. $12x squared. And that's going to give us f prime of x is equal to 4x to the third over x plus 12x squared natural log of x. F prime of x is equal to 4x squared plus 12x squared natural log of x. Now that is the answer because I pulled this problem out of your homework. But there's 3 other answers. I want you to see if you can find the 3 other answers or the 2 other answers. Go ahead and take about 30 seconds and see if you can rewrite this in 1 or 2 different other ways. Can somebody suggest something? Come on, you're in calculus now. There should be something staring at you like a red flag.
Would you factor out 4x
Factor out of what?
4x squared.
Yep. So, or f prime of x is equal to 4x squared, 1 plus 3, natural log of x. Now what? What's another way I could write that? Come on, people. I have faith in you. Anybody? Come on. Somebody knows. There's only one thing to focus on, and that's the logarithm.
Would that be e to the x?
Okay, hold on. Mr. Michelle, you go first, and then we'll ask, was that Mr. Benson? Go ahead, Mr. Michelle.
I was gonna say, could you move could you make it 4x squared times 1 plus 3, and then all that over x?
No, that's a good try. But nope. Who else was saying something?
I was. Could it be 4x squared times 1 plus 3e to the x?
Nope. Good try, but nope. You're going to focus on the natural log. Anybody? Good gracious, Mr. Knight, where are you going? The West Coast or what? Y'all been on the road for like a whole hour. Where are you going, man? He's going on vacation.
I'm coming back to South Carolina right now.
Ah, okay. 4x squared, 1 plus natural log of x raised to the what?
To the third.
See, there you knew.
I was just about to say that.
There's the 3 possible answers. Right quick, I want to do one for you. I want you to tell me f prime of x, or f of x is equal to the natural log of 4x. Tell me the derivative of that, please.
Would that be 1 over 4x?
You're not supposed to get it right. Yep. Good job. Okay. Now what are we going to do? Now we did natural logs. How about and we got to hurry. How about this? Y is equal 7 to the x power. And y is equal, mute your mics, please, 7 to the 3x power. Now look at your sheet that I gave you. This is an exponential. Right up under e to the x. And what are you going to do? Somebody tell me what the derivative of 7 to the x power is. Look at your sheet that I gave you. The sheet right here. Somebody write this down because evidently you didn't print it out. What do you do when you have a to the x power? What do you do?
So would it be 7 to the x times the natural log of 7?
That's it. Natural log of 7. All right. Now take that same and do this one. What would it be?
Would it be 3 times 7 to the 3x times ln of 7?
Good job. Because this is the chain rule. You got to take the derivative of what's inside. Here, the derivative was 1. You got to take the derivative of what's inside. So I'm just going to take my handy dandy highlighter. Say again?
Would you have to multiply that 3 and the 7 to make it 21 to the 3x?
You can't do that. You can't do that. This is a cat. This is a tiger. They're 2 different animals.
Okay.
Now, if they were the same base, if you had 7 to the 4th times 7 to the 3x, you could add 4 plus 3x. You could do that. But since they're different bases, you cannot. You could put the 3 in front of the natural log and say 3 times the natural log of 7 and then multiply that by 7 to the 3x. But that's all you can do. You can't do anything else. Remember, you've got to take the derivative of what's inside. Final question for today. Well, I got two questions, and we're probably not going to be able to get to both of them, but I'm going to write both of them down for you. The first one, y is equal 4 to the negative x times the sine of x. And the other one, y is equal 2 to the x over 2 to the x power plus 4. And that's supposed to be 2 to the x also. This one you can do as quotient rule or power rule. This one is set up for the quotient rule. I don't have much time, but I'm going to try to give you a minute. Yeah, I only got like 3 minutes left. Denominator times numerator prime minus the numerator times denominator prime all over denominator squared. And I'm going to do a Dr. Hardin right here. That means you know how to do this. And the answer that I got is cosine of x minus the natural log of 4 times the sine of x over 4 to the x. This one, y prime, is equal to denominator times numerator prime you got to be careful, 2 to the x prime. That's the biggest problem about these exponents. You'll write it and you'll put that x, instead of writing it in the exponent, you'll write it down like I did, and that causes problems. Minus denominator 2 to the x plus 4 times numerator prime. I'm sorry, I just messed that up. Numerator 2 to the x times denominator prime 2 to the x plus 4 prime over denominator and I got the answer that they want as far as a homework question is, you can write it several different ways. 2 to the x times 4 natural log of 2 over 2x, 2 to the x plus 4 quantity squared. Now, I don't know how many problems we did today, but if you can handle the problems we did today by tomorrow, in other words, if you work on them at home and homework, and you can do those problems, then you're ready for the test as far as trig or natural log or exponents. Okay, I'm going to go back to this right quick. Right now, you should be working on all of those sections. 3.3, 3.4, 3.7. Go ahead and start working on 3.5 tonight and 3.9. We still got tomorrow, I'm going to start, or Wednesday, we will start implicit. And then I think there's a couple of sections after that, and we'll finish those up Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, somewhere in there, Wednesday or Thursday. Okay? I'm not looking at a test to probably next week. So some of y'all hammies that are already worried about the test and we ain't even nowhere near a test, don't even ask, because we ain't even nowhere near it. Look at your outline. The outline says you got another couple of sections after we finish 3.8. Use your outline. Question. Right. Complaint. What does 11 mean, Mr. Benson?
That was just how many questions we did.
Oh, we did 11? Okay, it's good. I didn't know we did that many. All right, let me shut this down and get the roll for today. And then y'all, I got to go to the veterinarian.